all that much since the championship game. How do you think they'd handle the transition? Because DJ was such a leader, such a beloved guy among this.
Oh, great. I mean, we just getting going Sunday. They had last week. They all knew. I mean, they handled it during the game. Everybody handled it during the game. So it's these guys are all competitors and they all understand the game. And Cade's an easy guy. It's not like he's some hard personality. He's an easy guy to get behind.
Dabo Simpson definitely.
Oh, Trenton's here, but he's hurt. Trenton's not going to be able to play, but it's not because he's not here or on pro or all that stuff. But he can't play. He'll probably be ready in about 3 weeks, but that's probably going to be right about kickoff time or right after. So he missed the game. He was battling the ankle, and then he re-injured it in the championship game. I assume y'all saw him come out of the game. I didn't think he was going back in, to be honest with you, but he next thing I know, he's over there tapping me on the shoulder saying, "Coach, I got to go." And they rubbed some dirt on it, taped it up, and he finished. And, man, I got a great appreciation for Trenton for that. It's been real easy for him to kind of stay on that sideline. And fortunately, he's not going to have surgery. We thought he might have to have tightrope, but they don't think he's going to have surgery. But it's probably about 3 weeks before he's going to be, ready to play. And but he's here with us and all that stuff, and that's another guy that's not going to be available.
What do you want to see from Cade over the next
week? I know what he's doing. I don't know. Has he put anything out on what he's doing, one way or the other? Trenton?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I'll let him do that. So I know what he's going to do. I'll let him do that.
What do you want to see out of Cade the next 3 weeks? And does anything change when he goes from the backup role to the starting role?
A lot changes. Light gets a lot brighter, and everybody's going to be rooting for the backup. So your mistakes get magnified. If you don't comb your hair right on that day, it gets magnified. Scrutiny gets a lot greater, and that just comes with it. But obviously, I mean, we rep our two quarterbacks, equally. So he's always got, but now he's repping with all the ones. He's always gotten some reps, but now he's getting all the ones, and he has to lead now, from out front, as opposed to, not that he's not leading, but he's the guy, and so there's a definite lot that comes with that. But this kid's been doing this a long time. He's well prepared and ready and excited to have this opportunity.
Dabo, what was the conversation like with Myles, and was that a decision you expected from him?
Easy conversation. I mean, he I think contemplated things, whether or not he was going to come back or go pro or whatever, and then whether or not he was going to play in the game. I think all of those things weighed heavily on him. He didn't make a decision on a whim. That's not who he is. He's a very get to know Myles is a very deep guy, and he's got a great family and a lot of support around him, and so he really took his time to think through it. Just we gave him all the information, and that's what we do. And then make a decision and support the decision and keep moving. But not surprised. I mean, he's gonna, he's a great player. I think will be a pretty high draft pick. And I think he's going to test well and work out well and meet well and all those things, and be a great player for a long time.
With players all over the country opting out of bowl games or aren't playoff games, you kind of have to convince your guys that these are just not exhibition games, that these bowl games still mean something. At least maybe this generation doesn't appreciate what the Orange Bowl used to mean. Do you have to convince them the Orange Bowl is something special?
Well, I mean, I think that there's a part of that. I mean, we didn't have anybody opt out last year, and we've got one this year. So I think this is the first time we've ever had a guy opt out since maybe in 20 years since I've been at Clemson. And I don't remember anybody not playing, and so I mean, I don't really have to. I haven't had to do a lot of convincing. These guys are all out here, and they all want to play. They're all excited about going to the bowl game, and honestly, these are the experiences that when it's all said and done, that they're going to remember and cherish. These times, these moments. But the culture's different. things have changed, society's changed. So it's, I think, more guys than not playing for whatever reason. But I know here, I mean, even just since I've been here, I know Gaines Adams played. I remember him playing. I remember just him since I've been the head coach. I mean, these games are important. I mean, 2009, C.J. Spiller. I mean, Music City Bowl. I think he probably went from maybe a teens pick to the 9th pick. You know, coldest game in the history of Clemson football, and he was the MVP. The Bills are probably up there going, okay, I like him a little bit more now, right? And there's the 10, you know, Naquan, the Bronco Nagurski winner up there. We're a 6-win team. You know, he finished with his guys. And, I don't know who we had in 11. Do we have anybody in 11? 12 was Nuke Hopkins. Y'all think Nuke Hopkins is a first rounder without that dominant performance he had against LSU? Probably not. 2013 was Sammy Watkins. He was a surefire first rounder. I don't know that he was the 4th pick in the draft until after the Orange Bowl. And he had about 16 catches, and that game was pretty important. And 2014, the Russell Athletic was Vic Beasley and Stephon Anthony, 2 first rounders. You know, so I mean, it's to each his own. You know, I think certainly as a coach, you always want your best players, but you know, at the end of the day, you just want to know who's ready to play and who's all in, and get ready to go play. But you don't really spend any time worrying about it. But I do think that at least here, this game's been important to a lot of people. You know, guys have always chosen to play, but you know, if they don't, no big deal. Let's get the guys that are ready to play and let's go play.
What do you see from Jeremiah Trotter this year? He goes from kind of a behind-the-scenes guy a little bit last year, and this year he earned second-team All-American.
Tough sledding in the ACC, isn't it?
Yeah.
Guy can't make All-ACC, man, and but he can make All-American. It's tough sledding. Make All-Conference as a Clemson Tiger. I can't figure that one out, but he's just a baller. I mean, he's an incredibly instinctive player. He's exactly what we thought he'd be in the recruiting process. I mean, obviously he's grown up around the game his whole life, and he got a chance to really learn last year behind 2 great ones in Skowsk and Balin, and you know he's put the work in. He's incredibly focused. He's not a distracted kid. He's about his business all the time. He handles himself. He acts like a pro. I mean, he's one of them guys you tell people, you want to be a pro? Well, how about act like one? How about think like one? How about work like one? How about prepare like one? Study like one? You know, like make sure what your actions and your habits align with what you want. He's the epitome of that. He knows exactly what he wants. His actions, his habits align exactly with what he wants. And so he's on his way. And it was good to see him have the type of year. He's last, 5 games or so. I mean, he was as good as a player as there was on the field and in the game. And it really gives him a lot of momentum and sets him up, you know, going into next year to be exactly the type of person. And the biggest thing, I mean, you see it in the production on the field, but it's who he's becoming as the quarterback, as the leader. You know, he and Barrett, 2 special guys. Yeah. Wood has moves up. Yeah. I mean, you just give them the information, you know, NFL-wise and all that stuff, and then, you know, talk through whether you want to play or not. And again, every coach wants your best players. I mean, you certainly wish you had all your best players, but again, you understand it, you get it, you respect it. You know, you don't have to. You know, you can agree to disagree and still love each other, right? And so I just gave him my thoughts, and it's his decision. It's not my decision. So his decision. And high-five him, love him up. See you at the banquet. All right, let's get. You know, we got to go get ready to play.
Take a couple more for Coach. Coach, with signing day next week, seems like the hay's pretty much in the barn, as is usually the case.
Yep. Yeah. Hay's pretty much in the barn. You know, got maybe the door's cracked a little bit. Maybe we can stuff a little bit more in there. But today, you know, in our world now, right? It's every day in college football from a roster management. Every day is a new day when it comes to roster management. So there is no. I mean, today we're in a really good spot. Tomorrow may be different. I don't know. That's just the reality of college football. But this is going to be a really special class on top of last year's class. I really like the group that's coming in here. I think we've addressed, our needs, and it's going to be fun.
You see where I don't remember the school, but one school, I saw a tweet that the coaching staff is going to have in-home visits with their current players to try to re-recruit the current players to stay.
Yeah.
Do you envision that happening?
Well, I can believe that's happening, but I think I think if you're having to do that at this point after the season, the hay's probably out of the barn, or the train's left the station. Maybe that's a better way to say it. I think you gotta. That just goes to your daily approach and how you do things day in and day out. I think if you gotta all of a sudden recruit them at the end of the year, it's probably a little too late. Probably should have done that along the way. I mean, that's just. But am I surprised? No. I mean, we've got a lot of places that are new and just getting going as coaching staffs and things like that. There's a lot going on out there in college football. It's crazy. It's crazy. It is crazy. And a lot of young people aren't going to have a place to go, which is the sad part, but that's the way it is. Just keep going. I'm just worried about Clemson. And, we're in a good situation here.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Okay. Thanks, Coach.